Our Story Productions presents Martin County on TV, spotlighting the organizations, businesses, and citizens who are making a difference in our community today. And with interviews and stories done by local television shows over the last 25 years, here you're sure to learn more about the county we call home. Get ready, for this is Martin County on TV.
Talkin Business.
Hello, I'm Jeff Ross, executive producer of Our Story Productions, hosting today a new episode of Martin County on TV, Talkin Business. And today we're here with
Lil Orphan.
Glad to meet you, sir.
Glad to meet you too.
Glad to have you on the show. This is a unique guest for us here on Martin County on TV. We're excited to have you on board. Tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do.
So basically, I have been making music for about 4 years, and I've been engineering it. So I've been just doing shows more recently. I've only done 2 shows so far in my life. So it's not like I've done a lot of shows, but I've been recording music for about 4 years now.
Wow, awesome. So tell us a little bit about, are you from Martin County, or what's your connection to Martin County?
Well, I have some family down here.
Okay.
But I actually was born in Branson, Missouri.
Okay.
And I just moved back and all around kind of the United States for a little while.
Sure.
And just ended up back here because it's cheaper to live here than other areas I've lived in.
Absolutely. Well, we're glad to have you in Martin County. That's awesome. Now, tell us a little bit about your music. When you say you're recording and you're putting together music, what kind of music is it, and what can we expect to hear when we listen to you?
It is, I would say, like R&B / emo pop music. I would say it's very melodic. It's entrancing. Like if you listen to it, it'll probably either make you fall asleep or you'll just like get really zoned into it.
Really? How cool. Now the phrase you used, the first phrase you used, R&B I knew. Mm-hmm. The second one was?
Emo pop.
Okay. I'm an old guy. Mm-hmm. Help me out.
Okay, so emo pop, it's kind of like an emo genre. It has like this, it's kind of like, it has this like alternative sound to it.
Okay, I get it.
Like with more of like a deeper voice that I use. And it sounds really good. I just like personally think it sounds good with my voice. So awesome. That's why I chose that genre. So
with you being in music, is this a family trade, or is this something you picked up on your own?
I would say it's definitely a little bit of both.
Okay.
I've kind of gone through a lot of different things that I don't really want to expand on growing up. So that kind of, it really helped me a lot to make music because it kind of like, it coached me into bettering myself as well as like getting all of my emotions and feelings out, because I've always felt antisocial and felt like nobody really heard me, and sure. The only way I was able to get heard was by making music. So
awesome. That's a great motivator, I'm sure. That's awesome. So now you said you performed in a couple of venues. Tell us about those.
So I've actually performed at 2 shows so far. Both of them were at a wine vineyard.
Okay.
So they were, first I would get there and I would rehearse, and then I would actually promote the show like 2 weeks beforehand, and then a bunch of my friends and just people who know me for what I do would show up, and we just have a really good time and, jam out.
Awesome. And now you're still writing music all the time, I understand.
Yeah.
And have recorded some different things. Tell us a little bit about the process of recording.
So the process of recording is pretty simple once you get the hang of it. But it's pretty technical for, new people to try and learn. The software that I use right now is called FL Studios, and basically that allows me to add different plugins with like different sound effects onto my voice,
sure.
Onto a beat. And I use free-for-profit beats online. Currently, I'm looking for a producer, so if you make beats, hit my line. The process is easier once you get the hang of it. It just involves like cutting music and piecing it together.
Sure.
Once I get like a couple of different intervals of music, it just pieces together like a puzzle piece, and all of a sudden I have a full song created.
Awesome. So do you think of this as more career or a passion or a combination of both?
I would definitely say both.
Okay.
I started out not really trying to do it as a career. I started out more doing it because of like depression and anxiety and stuff like that. It helped with that a lot. So I would listen to music. It wouldn't even be my own music. I'd just be listening to music and I'd feel good. You know, I'd go outside, walk around, and I'd feel good about life just listening to music. So
that's awesome.
That's kind of what brought me into making my music. And then when I started making music, it just made everything like,
that's
my life
awesome.
was way better with music.
So who are a couple of your inspirations, musical acts, possibly an old timer like me might have even heard of?
Well, I would probably have to say you probably might not have heard of them. They're pretty popular nowadays.
Okay.
But a couple of my my idols, I would say, would be Lil Peep, XXXTentacion, Mac Miller, Juice WRLD. Those are a couple of them.
You know, I think you hit the nail on the head when you said I probably wouldn't know them.
Yeah.
And you are correct. I do not know them.
Yeah, everyone else, like a lot of people that I know, really like those artists as well. They really helped me with my anxiety and depression. So.
Okay. So tell us where we're going from here.
So from here, I have 2 shows coming up, and I have a tour coming up soon too in about 4 weeks. So I'll be going on tour, headed up to California.
California for a tour. That's a big move.
Yeah,
That'll
I'm
be
super
fun.
excited. Gonna be doing shows and different business meetings down there, meeting a couple of different artists that I'm gonna be working with. So
Awesome. And do you have a YouTube channel, a Facebook page, and
Yes, I
the
do.
like? Okay.
My YouTube channel is Lil Orphic, LILORPHIC. So definitely look me up on there.
Okay.
I actually don't have my music out on streaming platforms currently, but I'm in the process of getting that done. So, yep. And my Facebook is JACEWINEGARD, Jace Weingard.
Okay, and then you also have an album coming out, correct?
Yes, I do. I have my debut Orphic album coming out, so be ready for that. It's coming out September 24th.
Awesome. Mm-hmm. It sounds like you have a lot going on.
Yes, I do.
That's awesome.
Pretty
Good
busy
for you.
lately.
Good for you.
Yep.
And the video now you produce, tell us a little bit about that.
So the video, I'm shooting it here in town, and I'm going to basically...
Right here in Fairmont?
Yep.
Cool.
I'm going to shoot it here in Fairmont, and the song title of the video is called Someone Else. And it's actually one of my favorite songs on my new album coming out.
Awesome. Well, we're anxious to see that. Let's take a look at it right now.
Walk away from me, it seems you'd rather be with someone else. That's okay because you see that now I'm free from all the hell. And I enjoy the pain that courses through my veins when I'm with you. And I destroy my brain with poison, so annoying what you do. Walk away from And I destroy my brain with poison, so annoying what you do.
That was a very interesting and entertaining video. Good job.
Thank you. I
Good job.
appreciate it.
So now, it sounds like you have a lot going on, but I understand you have a couple local things happening too.
Yeah, I'm actually working with several different artists locally.
Okay.
One of them I'm dropping an EP with soon. I don't have a date on that, but the artist I'm working with, his name is Cloud.
Okay.
I'm sure a lot of people know him locally as well. His rap name is spelled Cloud.
Okay. Awesome.
And yeah.
And any other events that we need to talk about? Because I thought I heard about a couple things going on, like at the.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so I'm having a meet and greet on September 24th, and it's basically people can come there and get signatures and meet me, and I'll be doing like basically a rehearsal show there before I go to the Eagles Club.
But the meet and greet, that's at Loxley Coffee?
Yep.
Oh,
Loxley
cool.
Coffee here
Awesome.
in town. Yep.
Okay.
Right on Main Street up the road from Casey's.
Yes, absolutely. And then you were saying, I'm sorry, you said something about the Eagles Club.
So after the meet and greet at Loxley Coffee, I will be having a show at the Eagles Club.
That same day?
Yep, the same day.
Wow.
And it's an all ages show, and so people who are of age can drink, and people who are underage, they'll have X's on their hands, and
Sure.
so that we can tell who's who.
Absolutely. Very
So
cool.
yeah, so definitely look forward to having people show up there. I'll really appreciate it if you show up. It's a $5 admission fee, so thank you for coming, whoever shows up.
Absolutely. Sounds like fun. And you got a lot going on, and then heading out to California.
Yeah, California, man. It's going to be a really crazy trip. Going to be doing shows all the way up to California and then all the way back.
Well, we're going to be watching your career and where you head from here, because it's all pretty exciting, and glad you came on the show. Thank you so much. Good luck to you. This has been Jeff Rouse with Martin County on TV, Talking Business, and today, Talking Music.
Martin County on TV, Talking Business. Martin County on TV, Talking Business.
Hi, I'm Sara Pierce with Pierce Accounting and Tax Services. You're watching Martin County on TV, Talking Business. Today we are with a new special guest, Stephanie. You want to tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, thank you. So, Stephanie Busiahn, I am the Director of Fairmont Community Education and Recreation.
It's great. Tell us a little bit about it.
So, Fairmont Community Education and Recreation, we are an entity of the Fairmont area schools. So, our funding comes from a variety of sources. One being user fees, registration fees, those types of things, grants, and then local levy that comes in and is funneled through the school district, but is dedicated for community service, which we oversee.
Great. So that sounds like a lot. What are some of the programs you guys have?
We offer youth and adult enrichment programs. And those consist of, the upholstery classes, the adult cooking classes, painting, those types of things. We also offer youth enrichment classes. A lot of those being some after school. We offer some STEM programs, after school enrichment programs, Lego camps, those types of things. And then both adult and youth sports. And that's naturally a lot of times what people think of when they think of community ed. They think of the t-ball and the flag football and the soccer and those types of things. So that very much is a part of our offerings. We also have adult co-ed softball leagues, sand volleyball leagues in the summer. In addition to that, we have adult basic education, and that's comprised of our GED classes, so individuals that are looking to get their GED, as well as EL, English learner classes. And so that is a variety of that's open to anyone and everyone. Those are free classes that are offered through our office.
Oh, wow. That really is a lot. And you do the fun run every year, too, the 5-miler. That's always fun and a great turnout for all the kids and the whole family can get involved with that.
Absolutely. And you've participated in that.
I have. I try. Yeah, that's great. So that really is a lot. Lots to keep our kids busy and adults. So that's wonderful.
Yeah.
The last couple of years have been kind of weird. So what kind of changes have you seen to programming since in the last couple of years.
Yeah. So, our programs ebb and flow. We are constantly and consistently seeking input from the community in terms of, what they're looking for. We strive to meet the needs of our community. So our programs have, we have some of our tried and true, again, kind of those youth sports that continue to operate. We've seen, again, ebbs and flows with participation numbers. One of the things that is interesting to me that we have seen is a lot of a continuation of our virtual classes. Through the COVID pandemic and all of that, a lot of things were shut down. A lot of things transitioned online to virtual. There was this thought process that once that went away, I don't know if it ever really goes away, but once we started transitioning back, that people would be over virtual. If they never had to participate in another Zoom meeting again, they would be happy. However, we have found over the years that there is still a need. There's still a demographic that seeks that virtual experience. One of the things that is really great in terms of offering for our community in particular is when we work with instructors, we see minimums and maximums. And so, and that's, cost flow and just what makes sense for, the instructor and for us.
Yeah.
And so a lot of times, I'm going to throw out a number of 5. An instructor will say, yep, I can lead this course, this fitness course, or whatever it might be, painting class, but I have to have at least 5 people to make this really go. So we put that minimum out there. Well, in some cases, we don't reach that. Most of the time, we try and really promote our classes and our offerings, but in some cases, we don't. So it goes away. The great thing about virtual and some of those instructors that we've tapped into is it's opened up a huge opportunity for our community to receive programming, to participate in programming that they wouldn't typically be able to participate in. We're tapping into some instructors that we wouldn't have access to otherwise, whether that's the Twin Cities, whether that's, throughout the country. So they couldn't make it to Fairmont on a weekly or a monthly basis to lead an activity. However, the other thing that we see is that those minimums go away because they are connecting and participating with a variety of networks. So they may have an individual that's taking a class, in 7 other different communities. And so if we have one person that's interested, that class is a go. So we've been able to expand and grow some of our online, some of our virtual programming. And, it's a great opportunity for our community to participate in some of those.
Yeah, that's a lot of great points. I totally agree that I thought virtual is going to kind of go away, but you realize the convenience of it and everything it really brings and how much you can really expand with that. So that's awesome.
Yeah.
What are some changes or added programs you're looking at going forward?
So, we broke down some of our populations that we serve and are finding that there's a lot of underserved populations. Our adults with disabilities is one of those populations that we have found over the years that really could use a boost in programming. So we've been working really hard to grow that. We've partnered with Special Olympics and have done some programming in that arena and have seen some good successes there. Our adult programs, we have, again, kind of that tried and true youth program. When people think of community ed, again, they think of T-ball or they think of youth programming, which is very much near and dear to our hearts, and we will continue to do that. But really find that a lot of times adults are seeking those opportunities in those very small windows of time that they're not running kiddos or they're not at work or so to try and increase and grow some of those offerings, those short, 1 or 2 times, nothing significantly long, not a 12-week course or, but really they're looking for some education and enrichment and outlet to get together and a lot of times more of a social setting to connect with friends and do something that they enjoy doing. So some of those painting classes, some of those, kind of hands-on arts, crafts, those types of things. So yeah, we're working to grow those offerings as well.
So all kinds of stuff going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. So tell us about some of the challenges you have faced.
Yes. So with any organization and entity, there are challenges that you're faced with. One of the largest challenges that we are facing is volunteers. People are busy. They're, in some cases overcommitted. There's a lot of opportunities for people to fill their time. And so, but with a lot of our programs, we seek and rely on volunteers. Volunteer coaches for T-ball, volunteer coaches for flag football. The sky's the limit. Volunteers for, our summer run, all of those things. We love to have volunteers come in and help with GED and our English learners and work through with them in addition to our instructors. And so we are finding as we continue, increasing our offerings that the availability for volunteers is starting to decrease. So we are trying to find creative ways to fill those gaps, doing a lot of asking and begging and pleading to parents, and we get it. Parents are are busy, and in a lot of cases are wanting to come and watch their kiddo participate, and but some of those programs don't happen without volunteers, so we are always seeking those.
Okay. With the volunteers, is there certain age groups that you target, or is it all ages can volunteer?
Yes, okay. Absolutely, all ages. In fact, we've had some high school students come in and assist with our English learner classes. Some of those individuals that are actually currently enrolled in Spanish class are coming in and helping our English learners. Okay. Those we have tapped into even having conversation, those varsity and junior high athletes coming and participating and assisting with that. At those younger ages, they idolize those older varsity players. And so trying to integrate that and helping grow programs, again, whether that's T-ball or baseball or flag football, just providing them some positive role models and again, building those programs.
So speaking of volunteers, if someone has a new idea or some type of program they want to offer, how do they go about that process?
And we are always looking for new ideas, new instructors, and that process is just connecting with our office, letting us know that you have, a passion or something that you want to share with the community. We can set that up. We walk through a process of, creating a description and talking about price points and all of that. We market that, we push it out on our web store, as well as a variety of our social media channels. We do some news releases and really spread the word that way. And then, we handle all the registrations. So in terms of the instructor, they're really able to just focus on that content or the area that they are the expert in. Sure. Which also reminds me that we hear a lot of people say, well, I didn't go to school for that. I'm not an expert in. People are really not necessarily looking for that expert piece. If they want high level, they will go someplace else to seek that out. These are really people that, just want to share their passions and, their time and talents with others. And so it could be a variety of things. Again, some of those art classes or cooking. We've attempted to run some interior design classes. Okay. A variety of things. And again, it's sharing the knowledge that you have. Doesn't mean that you're an officially certified doctor in. Right. It's a fun opportunity for people to connect.
What a fantastic way to build connections with everybody in the community. That's wonderful. So we're hearing a lot about what you have going on now. Tell us about the history of CER.
The CER started in 1972. So there's a long history of programming and assisting and meeting the lifelong learning needs of the communities that we support. We've been in a variety of locations. For the bulk of time, most people remember CER being in a school. Yep. And that's naturally where a lot of locations, other community CERs are located. We are actually located in the Southern Minnesota Educational Campus, a city-owned facility. And that's opened some doors and some opportunities for us. We are definitely feel maybe more connected and in tune to the community as a whole.
We love having you downtown. So yeah, it's definitely growing down here, so it's great. Tell us, how do we find out about your programs?
Where we're seeing the bulk of our traffic coming through is our web store. Our web store has all of our programs. We continuously are putting on new programs. A lot of people are familiar with our brochure or our catalog. And that can be in a print form. We're also looking at a digital option for that. So really the best way to find out about our programming is to go online and look at our web store.
Well, thank you, Stephanie, so much for joining us today and telling us so much about CR. That was great. I'm Sara Pierce with Pierce Accounting and Tax Services, and thank you for joining us on Martin County on TV, Talking Business.
Well, there you have it, another episode of Martin County on TV. We hope you enjoyed this episode, and we welcome you to tune in again. Thank our sponsors for making this happen, and remember, it's not just the past, but the present that tells our story.